godly waters. I mean, they're going crazy over Black Panther right now. Everybody thinks that it's a big, they're superheroes now. But to start off, I just want to know, like, were you born in Toronto?
Yep.
Yeah.
Born at Mount Sinai Hospital.
Yeah.
Right downtown.
What high school did you go to?
I went to high school in Cambridge, Ontario. So when I was 12, we moved to Cambridge in a school called Galt Collegiate.
Okay.
Way out in the boonies. About an hour west of Toronto.
Okay. How was that?
I loved high school. So it was great in that I met some of my closest friends, and I was able to thrive in the arts. I played football, and then I'd do plays. So
You into theater?
Oh yeah.
Same here.
Okay, nice.
I was into theater.
That was my creative outlet, and I was just absolutely plagiarizing Will Smith, Martin Lawrence, Jim Carrey when I was in high school. Just absolutely stealing all of their material to try to make girls laugh. And then I would
you must have done well then, making girls laugh.
I did all right. But listen, girls aren't trying to check for the chubby funny guy. They're not they'll be friends with the chubby funny guy. They're not checking for the chubby. They're checking for the slim, athletic, charming guy. I had my gift was of the gab, and the gab didn't really get me get me past midnight.
But you know what though? How you like me now? How they like you now?
It's still the same. No, it's still the same.
Stop this.
Still the same. I'm at the plate, swinging and missing often.
No, you're good. You're good. So after high school, you went to.
I went to Ryerson.
Okay.
Went to Ryerson, took radio and TV.
Okay.
And then met another group of great friends, creators. We were all sort of playfully competitive, and a couple
of us. Did you play football then?
No. Ryerson has a basketball team, volleyball team, hockey team, but no football team.
So after high school, that was it for football.
That's correct. Yeah, okay. I just continued being chubby, and not as funny.
So this getting into sportscasting was in high school, in college. That's what you did?
No,
What did you take?
I didn't really. I took radio and TV, but there wasn't a focus on sports. It was just learning television production and learning writing and storytelling.
Okay.
And then radio, we'd learn about production and
so a whole plethora of things.
Yeah, a few things. It wasn't. I never really wanted to be a sportscaster, and then when I got a job interning at a sports channel, I already had an interest in sports, but I didn't think my career would be in sports. I wanted to be an actor, and I wasn't very good. I'm not that great of an actor. Yeah, so I was auditioning for little.
Was there any particular roles that you went for that we know about?
No. They're not offering me movies. I'm not in the room in L.A. for we got this new movie called Independence Day. They're that's not coming to me. Maybe if it was someone that gets
Mr. Richards, we got the check here for you, blank check.
No, nothing like that. It was small parts in commercials, maybe one line. I'm eating a sandwich on Tim Hortons commercial or something.
Well, you know what? Speaking of that Advil commercial, I was laughing about it because I seen you when you were doing the leg press. I'm looking, I'm like, how many plates is on that? It looked like you're doing a good job of making it look like it was heavy.
Yeah, it wasn't 4 plates aside.
Exactly.
You
that
had
was
to do
great
30
acting
takes.
to me because it took me a few times. I'm like, he's not really pushing plates there. He's just that's one plate.
That's a good eye. And you know what else I did? You know what else I did? Because it was a shot, a profile shot. And I got this from Jamie Foxx. I heard it in an interview once. I just flexed my triceps to make it look like I was trying to run. Jamie Foxx once, I think he was on Fallon. He was talking about a movie he did with Ryan Reynolds. I think it was Olympia Has Fallen or White House. Maybe it was White House Down. But Jamie Foxx is like, when you shoot the gun, make sure you flex your arms because in slow motion, your arms will look so diesel. So that's what I remember when I was at this gym and just doing a leg press. Nothing nearly as cool as Jamie Foxx in an action film.
Oh, that's funny. So you wanted to be an actor, but that didn't pan out.
Correct.
But it looked like you carved a way for yourself. You carved a lane for yourself, though.
I did.
Because you now, when you think about it, with your sketch and your, how should we say, antics?
Yeah, antics. That's a good one.
To tell you honest truth, I don't think. When were you on the Score? What year was that?
The Score, I started appearing on camera in 01 to 02. Then I left to go to Sportsnet from 02 to 05 to do a show called NBA Excel and J Zone. Then I came back to the Score in 05 to 2010, did Cabby on the Street, Cabby Unlimited, and 2 episodes of Cabby All Stars, very short-lived. And then in 2011, moved here to TSN. So I think most people that have seen my stuff was in that 05 to 2010
So 05,
era.
2010,
Yeah.
unfortunately, like everybody knows, I was incarcerated. So you were one of the guys we would watch. And for the most part, you kept us entertained. So
Thanks.
we appreciate
Thanks.
it. Appreciate that. And the sketches, sitting down with Bosch, and the big one, of course, is for me, anyways. And I don't know if that's the same thing for you, sitting down with the Black Mamba, Kobe Bryant.
That was big very, very big
Like,
for
I don't
me.
know
That was huge.
what you the children would say nowadays. You must be part of the Illuminati. to
Yeah,
get
right.
that.
Yeah, right.
That's what the children would say. They don't know about hard work. But yeah, so that those years between 05 and 10 were ones that I personally paid attention to what you were doing. And
Thanks,
so,
man.
yeah, so your background in theater, you could see it, how you had to cover. Did you come in saying, you know what, this is what I want to do to the producers or whoever you had to
At
tell?
the Score?
Yeah.
No. I was an intern, so I just kept my mouth shut for like the first year.
Okay.
And then as I felt more comfortable, I would become more vocal. And I was just writing scripts for the host. So we write like.
So were you the one writing for Tim and Sid?
No. Tim and Sid are great writers on their own. We would just provide.
Because they're funny too. I'm like,
they're
yo,
great.
when they were doing all that patois talk, I'm like, yo,
Yeah,
who's
that's
that?
Tim. Tim grew up in Scarborough. That's Tim McAuliffe.
Is it
Yeah.
Scarborough?
Tim
Okay.
McAuliffe is a Scarborough man.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, Tim, we got to sit down. You already know Scarborough, Neil McNeil. You already know.
He went to. Tim went to Senator O'Connor. I
Stop
think.
this. Up the road?
I think so.
That's up the road. Hey, you know.
Yeah, I think
You know.
Senator
I think he
O'Connor.
did. Now that you say
But
it.
however, if I'm wrong, I apologize. But
I
think
think
Senator
it is
O'Connor.
Senator. I think it is. O'Connor. He did go to Tim. We got to sit down.
So we would just do like the framework. So like say there's a highlight pack that's a minute and it's 5 highlights. It could be, Detroit Lions versus Minnesota Vikings. So at the time I might say, Dante Culpepper throws a 65-yard touchdown to Randy Moss, 17-0 Minnesota in the second quarter. So, and so 4 more highlights like that, give it to the host, and then the host would then add his or her own flavor to the highlights. Like Tim always had nicknames for people. He had certain expressions. One of my favorites was "pitch better have my money" in a baseball term, baseball pack. Or he would say, "I got 99 problems, but a pitch ain't one." Like he invented that line. Actually, I called him first. I did this bit about baseball and hip hop, and I made these. I had like hip hop expressions, but in a baseball kind of baseball connotation. Thank you. So one was 99 problems with pitch ain't one. So David Ortiz was one of the guys I interviewed, Big Papi, and he's like, "Can I have this T-shirt?" I'm like, "Yeah, of course." He goes, "I might just wear it in the game." Wore it in the game, hit a home run. So as he's like rounding like third base, his jersey, like the 2 top buttons were unbuttoned.
I know.
So you could see the gray
I know the
T-shirt
Papi
underneath.
relax. I'm Big Papi relax.
Big
mode.
Papi was just such a legend.
Yeah,
so that was
right?
like a very cool moment for me, seeing like a prop that I came up with and actually wearing it in a game, and then my guy hitting a home run.
So
Another
you
dude,
never got a souvenir from him, like something signed?
no. The footage alone was enough for me. When I saw the highlight and I saw the shirt, I'm like, he actually wore the shirt. That was
That was dope.
That's
That
enough
would
for
be
me.
cool. That would be cool. I wanted to take it back. I never touched on your parents and how was that growing up? And was it Cambridge?
Yeah, so I lived 12 to 19. So it was okay. I have 2 younger brothers, so it was like a busy household. Everybody played sports. I wasn't very good at sports. I played in the summertime. I would either have a job or I'd play house league baseball.
Okay.
And my 2 younger brothers, they played travel baseball. So every weekend, my dad was either in Stratford, Ontario, or Peterborough, or Hamilton, or
It's all over the place.
yeah, Sault Ste. Marie. I don't know if they went that far, but they played on like a travel team for Cambridge. So
So your parents were together for
my parents are together. Sometimes my mom would go on the tournament. Sometimes she would stay home. But
you
and
have
I
both
always,
parents in your household. That's
oh
what I'm
yeah. Mom's from Trinidad, dad's from Jamaica. So music was a very
They met here?
they met at the University of Toronto.
Oh, okay.
So my parents both went there, graduated. My brother went to U of T. I went to Ryerson. My youngest brother went to U of T.
Yeah, I think one of your brothers played for LA Kings, right?
No, I say
joking?
jokingly.
Oh, you joking?
My baby bro,
Mike
Richards. Yeah, no, that particular guy, he's from Kenora, Ontario.
Oh, okay.
And we just share the same name. And the first time I hosted a golf tournament for him once, and so I was on the mic, and I was like, I'm the Richards that people kind of forget about or didn't really know about because mom had a couple of years, which and here I am, and everybody laughed and whatever.
See, that's your writing skills right there. That's
just me being an idiot. So both parents in the house. My dad, when he was growing up or like during school, we used to throw parties, and he had a partner in crime, and my dad would spin like soul records and some.
So your dad had records.
My dad was a DJ, yeah.
Okay, so everything, the Music Mondays, everything ties back to.
Yeah, I was
to the roots.
The music being played at home informed my love of music later on in my life.
Oh,
but I'll say this, like. My dad is from Jamaica. He's a roots man. Reggae and R&B were played, a lot of reggae in the house, but I'm not really a reggae dude because I rebelled, like reggae, soca, that's my parents' music. Me, I was like hip hop, R&B, that's for me.
Yeah.
So even when I would go Caravana times and they're playing soca reggae, I'm like, this is all right. And it was nice to like dance with some girls. But I just wanted to hear some hip hop.
Reggae was a thing. I know in the club, when the music comes on, then you just grind with the girls. But for the most part, once that's done, the girls leave the floor and it's just the hip hop thing now. It's just you know what I mean?
And some girls would stay and dance or whatever.
But most of the, like, you'd see the difference. Nobody's dancing like they were dancing with reggae. So,
right.
So yeah, I can see it now. That's really cool.
Thanks,
really
man.
Cool. So as far as religion or spirituality, did they give you an open concept, or did they actually say, okay, we're this? Because most of us are just born and then we're told this is what we are and not really given a chance to.
That's a good question. My mom is very religious. She's a Christian. When I was a kid, I would go to Sunday school when I was 5 to 10, I lived at Jane and Finch, which is a total cultural opposite than Cambridge, Ontario. So I would go to Sunday school, and our church was just at the school community center, and we would just be in the gym. And then my grandmother on my mom's side, maternal grandmother, she was devout Baptist, and then grandmother on my dad's side, paternal grandmother, she was a Jehovah's Witness. My dad didn't really follow the Jehovah's Witness. That religion that much. My mom was kind of growing up. She was like religious, but not as much as she is now. And as she's a little older, and I guess maybe more looking at her life in the rear view. But they didn't until I was about 10. I went to church a lot, but then after I guess when I got in my teenage years, then it was less of a priority or less of a focus in the house.
Okay, so do you? Do you follow any particular religion?
No. I would say I'm spiritual. I have a relationship with the Creator, but I don't go to church or anything like that because I have, everybody has their
I know
their own personal relationship, but also like I have a bit of like some things
you can read. That's the problem. Where you can read,
it's interesting.
That's what it is. Where you can read and understand words.
Did you say overstand words?
Yeah. This is what I mean. When you can actually read this stuff the fairy tales that have been told to you, you're just like, yeah, okay. I love my mother, same way, religious. Like, matter of fact, like, my family, the women on my mom's side, they're very spiritual, like, they'd even go, like, back where we were, my family's from.
Which is where?
Quote unquote Nigeria.
Why do you say quote unquote? Are they from Nigeria or no?
Yeah, it is Nigeria. I'm just saying that's what modernly that's what it's called. Because I'm very
what do you
into
call it then?
Me?
Yeah.
Exactly what I said, quote unquote. Quote unquote. Just like the same thing with Canada. Because they act like Canada is not America. Like Canada is America. Like, think about this.
What?
How old is Canada?
We're 151 years old.
How old is Toronto?
Toronto's 200 and...
That's crazy. Like,
Why is that crazy?
like, how is that the country, and isn't the city supposed to be younger than it's just like your parents? You're older, you're younger than your parents, no? Because they act like Canada is this country, but I just know better as far as...
I still don't understand what you're saying.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's things that we could get into another time.
Okay, sure,
you know?
sure.
But I'm just saying, as far as Canada is just it's a corporation on paper. The land itself has been here longer.
Of course, yes.
And when you think about indigenous people, native people,
yeah.
we never think about people that look like us because of what we've been taught. And the truth is, we are
indigenous to this country.
To this land.
To this land, which is on the other side of the Atlantic from where our people are from.
Well, I wouldn't say, this is what I'm saying. This is the issue. Our people, we're from here too.
So, are you talking about like before the Jurassic Park area, when all the continents were there was Gondwana land?
Even then, I'm going even as that because that's glad you brought that up. Imagine doing Pangea, me and you in so-called Africa, and you're married to my sister, and or whatever. We have a little family. I'm like, you know what, yo, fam, let's go up to Canada.
Guy, there's no let's go up to Canada. Can you imagine this size?
How do you know that?
Dude.
How do you know that?
You can't even picture the size of Ontario. Ontario is the largest province in Canada. It is massive. As a landmass, it is enormous.
So how do you think people tracked the world at one point?
On foot, bro.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but it's not like, let's just go over to Alberta from friggin'
so
we're
you
in
don't
Quebec
think,
City.
So I'm not saying that
is a year-long hike.
Exactly. You think they have some what? Do you think they have something else to do?
Yeah, they have to continue to have...
like, what
listen, if we're going on Maslow's pyramid of needs...
They didn't have jobs and didn't have to worry about Wi-Fi and stuff like that.
Sure. They didn't have 21st century problems, but they had,
hunters and gatherers.
Yeah.
That's what they were. Hunters and gatherers.
Maslow's basic pyramid of needs is safety and shelter and food.
Basically, what I'm saying is
that was the job.
This is true. What I'm saying is we were always here, and what we've been taught, that's not what it is, That's what I'm saying. And there's more to it. I'm going to send you some information. I'm glad you brought it up, but there's other things I want to get into.
Okay, sure, yes. Yeah, let's continue.
I'm glad you brought it up. It's something we could talk about.